guys, my name is Gustavo David Ortiz, and this is Agent Hustle. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about addenda. Like these are like the addendums that get added to the actual real estate contracts. There are two primary contracts that exist. One is a standard contract, and the other is an as-is contract. As you can imagine, an as-is contract basically says the property is as is, and in a standard contract, there's a little bit more flexibility in terms of what the property may be like. So most real estate agents will use the as-is contract. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into that. I did discuss that in a previous episode, which you can look at. I'll probably see if I can put that there. And but for today, I really want to talk about the addenda. There are like at least 26 addenda for Florida state real estate contracts. They can cover anything from loan date contingencies to appraisal contingencies, all the way down to homeowners and flood insurance and all kinds of other stuff. But it's important to know what they are, because depending on the situation, you may need them. So I went through a class today and learned about all of those. I did have a familiarity with a number of them, but there were a number that I did not know. I just wasn't familiar with. So that's going to be a task for me to really understand the various addenda that exist. Different circumstances are going to require different addenda. So I am going to make it sort of a priority for myself to make sure that I understand, because certain addenda are going to be important. There's even one, for example, for the bad drywall that was utilized between like 2002 and 2008, right? There was a period of time when construction materials were kind of at a low, and some bad drywall was provided to a lot of builders and to a lot of people doing renovations, and it caused a ton of damage, right? Caused a ton of problems. So there's actually an addenda to cover that. So if you have a house that was built between that time, you may want to include that as part of the contract. So there's just a number of addenda that exists. It's important that you familiarize yourself with them. There are 26 of them at least, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will say, as a real estate agent, or even as just in general as a real estate professional, you need to really make sure that you understand not only the contracts, but all the addenda that exist, because they're going to cover your ass. And that's what you need to do. You need to make sure you cover yourself, because God forbid you go into a situation, let's say you don't have an appraisal contingency addendum in place, and the home doesn't appraise, but the loan is still thumbs up by the lender, and now the buyer needs to basically put up additional cash in order to fulfill the contract, because they're obligated to fulfill it if the contract if the loan is approved. So without a loan approval addenda, I mean, you can run into problems. So again, I'm just learning a lot of this myself, so I need to get more familiar. I'll go ahead and give probably a little bit more in-depth video with maybe each of these, or maybe a handful of ones that are being used more often than others, as I become more familiar. But that's pretty much what I'm trying to get familiar with, is all of the addenda that exists, because you want to make sure that you present yourself with as an expert when you go out and you kind of talk to your buyers, your sellers, so on and so forth. So understanding not only the contract, but the addenda is going to make a difference. Anyways, that's my rant. I learned something really new today. I thought it was kind of wouldn't say it's exciting, but learning something new is always generally exciting for me. Reading the addenda was not terribly exciting, but it was good information to know. It's good to know what options are there that are out there to protect you as the agent, and the buyers and the sellers, and so on and so forth. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please share if you think you can take anything from this. Subscribe. Excuse me. If you have any comments, make sure you go ahead and put them below. Maybe you have something you can share that'll help me out to understand more about these addenda or something like that. Any resources that you might have. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Ortiz Was Taken, because it was. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace.